Hello everyone, welcome to fourth part of Python 3.8 tutorial. In this video, we will learn about Boolean type in Python, comparison operators, if-else statement, Boolean logic, and operator precedence. So let's get started with Boolean. In Python, Boolean types can hold two values, true or false. So this type can be created by comparing values also. So here is an example of Boolean variable that holds the value true. So whenever you try to print the Boolean variable, it gives you the value as true. So you can also reassign this variable to false, or you can use some conditions using this equality operator to change their values. So comparison operators. So here you have some bunch of operators that you can use to get the Boolean type. So whenever you check for equality, the LHS is compared with the RHS, and if these both are equal, then you get the value true, else it will return false, and same holds for the other operators. So not equal to checks for the inequality of the operands, and x greater than y checks whether x is greater than y. So x less than or less than equal to checks whether the left LHS is less than or equal to RHS. So coming to if statement in Python is used to check for truthness of the given condition. So Python uses indentation to delimit blocks of code. So this is very important. In Python, you can't use any flag braces to separate the statements for if block or else block. Here you must follow the proper indentation so that you get this syntax right. So here goes the syntax for if statement: if expression and colon. This colon is a must, which tells that the coming lines goes with the block of if. So you can have if expression colon statement 1 to n with the same indent. So here you can see an example. I have created a variable score which has initial value as 0, and then there is a if statement that checks for the condition score if it is less than 10. So obviously this score value is less than 10. So now the score is incremented to 1, score plus equal to 1. So whenever you print score, you can see that it prints 1. So in the next if statement, we have score greater than 10. Value of score is 1 now. So 1 is not greater than 10. So this is not executed. So hence print score gives 1. Else statement. Else statement in Python is used to execute some block of code whenever if condition evaluates to false. So an else statement must be used with if statement, otherwise it becomes a dangling else. That means the else without an if statement. So dangling else throws error. Now coming to the syntax of if else, you have if condition with an expression colon statements of if block, then comes else, the statements for the else block. So elif statement is more similar to if else chaining. So it is actually a shortcut to use whenever chaining of if else takes place. So in Python, we use if elif instead of if else if. So an else statement must be used with if statement, otherwise it becomes a dangling pointer. Yeah. So Python's order of operators is the same as that of a normal mathematics. So first it evaluates parenthesis, then goes to exponentiation, and then multiplication and division is evaluated, and then comes the addition and subtraction. So guys, let's now implement the concepts we have learned in a competitive platform. For beginners, I would recommend going to HackerRank first, and then you can move to HackerEarth and CodeChef. I've already created an account in this. So let me just log in. So let me log in for developers. And if you don't have an account, just go and click sign up. So for signing up, you can just fill your name, give your email ID and a password, and create an account. So I already have created an account. Click login. So you can also get certified from HackerRank. So skills available for practice are all these skills, and you can practice anything. Now for this course, I'm going for Python. So the first problem is the hello world problem. As it with every other programming language, hello world is the first thing that you get to do whenever you're beginning with a language. And to be eligible and to appear in the leaderboard, you must verify your Gmail account. So let's just solve the first problem, hello world problem in Python. Here you will find all the instruction that is required to complete the challenge. So this is all you need to do in Python, print hello and world, and this has to match exact format that they are asking for. So here you can choose your own compiler, what you want to, in which language you want to write. PyPy2, PyPy3, Python 2 and Python 3 is available. So I'm teaching Python 3. Hello world. And it's exactly the format they're required for. You can also store this text in a string in a variable, and then you can print that variable. Okay, so you have earned your first 5 points in this skill. This will take you to the next challenge, or this takes me to directly if else. So if you want to go with the sequence, you can just go to the practice Python, and you can just choose whatever problem you want to solve. Let me just solve this problem, which will actually matter for this video. So given an integer n, and we need to perform the following condition. If n is odd, we need to print weird. If n is even and in an inclusive range of 2 and 5, we need to print not weird. If n is even and in inclusive range of 6 and 20, we need to print weird. And if n is even and greater than 20, we need to print not weird. Input format is whatever the input they are going to give. So here it is just a single positive integer, and there are some constraints. Here it is n should be within the range 1 and 100. So that this is the going to be the value of n they will give. So the output format must contain either weird if the number is weird, else it is not weird. So we need to print only the string weird and not weird. So here you have the sample test cases. So in the compiler they have already created few codes. That's a basic code, but it is not mandatory. You can just ignore all this, or you can continue with that. That's doesn't matter, but be sure that the indentations are proper. So let's write the first line, which takes the input n from the user. Here the user is already uh, a file that contains all the input cases. So we will just need to include some statement to get that input. So we need to get an integer. So in int input dot strip. You need not use this strip, but it is always a better way. This strip actually removes all the trailing spaces. So if you want to weave the problem statement as well, you better switch this to full screen layout, so that here you can weave the problem as well as the editor. So we need to check the first condition whether n is odd. So if n mod 2 is equal to 1. So here n mod 2 gives the remainder of the division. If n is even, it will be divisible by 2. So hence the remainder will be 0. If n is odd, it won't be divisible by 2. hence the remainder will be 1. So if it is 1, meaning if it is odd, we need to print weird. Don't forget to use a colon, and this bracket parenthesis is not at all required in Python. We need to print weird. You can also use a semicolon, why? But it's not mandatory. Else if, so it is L if n is even, meaning n mod 2 is 0, and so note that it is and, so this has to be true, and the right hand condition should be true, which is inclusive in the range of 2 to 5. So you can write n in 2 comma 5. This is the next concept that I will be covering in the next video. This is the list which contains 2, 3, 4 and 5. There's a shortcut way of writing this. You can I will teach you in the next coming video. Here it checks whether n is in this list. So n is an integer, so that integer, if it is present in this list, it will return true. I will print not weird. Then the next case is n is even and it is in the range of this. So I can just copy this code and paste it once. So here n should be even and n is in the range 6 to 20 now. So now when you try to write 6 to 20, the range becomes a little bigger. So you need to write every single digit. So to do that in a shortcut way, you can use a variable x, which is a temporary variable, and you can run a for loop for x in range of 6 comma 21 or 20 plus 1, because the last index is not iterable. That means it checks from 6 to n minus 1. So whatever the value you have give minus 1, so it is 20 plus 1, which can be written as 21. So it goes from 6 to 20. So this list value will be x for every x in this range. So here first x will be 6, then it will be 7, 8 up to 20. So you check n is in this range. If it is true, you print weird. Else, because if n is even and greater than 20, you're going to print this. What if n is less than 20? You may not print, but here, since it's given a positive integer, that case won't happen. But still, it's a good way to go with the proper, constraints. So elif, you need to give a condition, that is n is even, n mod 2 is 0, and n greater than 20. Notice how we are using this assignment operator and comparison operators actually. So assignment operator, okay, sir. So if n is greater than 20 and n is even, we are going to print weird, not weird. So let's just run the code. So running the code is not actually submitting, it just checks over all the test cases. Okay, here we have made a mistake, that is input, not input. So now we'll get the code. You can also provide your own test cases here. Just enable the checkbox here so that you'll ask for the test case input against custom input. So you can give your own inputs and check with that, but make sure that it matches the format how it is being accepted. And finally, we can submit the code since we have passed the test cases. Okay, so this is accepted. This is the basic and very easy problem. So if you go to the practice session in Python, you can see this. They have given the uh, difficulty level here, easy, and the amount of score that you get by solving this problem, and the success rate. This is how many people have attempted this and solved this correctly. You can also check for your solved problems, unsolved problems. This will list out the problems through difficulty level and other, domains that you like to solve the uh, problem. So thank you for watching. That's all for this video. And the next video we will solve few more problems after covering some concepts like lists and tuples. So thank you.